20 million buys, $1.3 billion. He is by far the #1 attraction in sports and entertainment. There's no one else who's even close. Am I surprised this fight is happening? Am I surprised that at age 40, Floyd is coming out of retirement to fight someone who is younger, bigger, stronger than he is? No, not at all. This is Floyd's plan, to do the biggest, most memorable, most exciting, most spectacular events that sports has ever seen. That's what August 26th will be, and that's been the plan all along.
Thank you to Stephen Espinosa. And now we move along to hear from one of the hosts of the T-Mobile Arena. And now please welcome to the microphone the president of Sports and Entertainment, MGM Resorts International, Mr. Richard Sturm.
Our event partners, the sponsors, and all the watching today's event online.
Let's bring in how does that go about?
Yeah, listen, I mean, look, Doug, let's take the mask off. The public has a huge misconception. You ever hear the term, he's trying to get in his head, he's trying to make him fight with emotion? Man, there's no such thing. How do you get in another guy today? And it's not because one's getting in another guy's head. That's a misunderstanding. Much like a political presidential debate, if you will. They're trying to win over the fans. They're trying to get over the sponsors. They're trying to plan for tomorrow. For the first time ever, he can't out-talk somebody. That's what I'm seeing so far by his body language. And this is what they're fighting for, control of the audience.
So if I get this straight, you're saying all the talking and all the performance on stage today is more about their brand, for lack of a better word, after the fight, and not so much impacting the
Sometimes we see this and get reminded of it. Let's call it 1,000 times. We've been told 10,000 times by people that don't understand fighting that it's about getting in the guy's head and making him fight with emotion. Doug, we've been told for years there's something about a size advantage, even though we've been proven over and over. Long arms win a fight. We have been lied to as fans from the beginning. I'm here to set this straight. Look, nobody's trying to get any. It's like a political debate. You're going to see some very interesting things, both in body language and words and reactions. And so far, Floyd, both by his demeanor and
the Mayweather or money team, I should say. You mentioned that you talk about the stage being too big. This is a huge fight. Each guy stands to make over $100 million. An event on their cards in respective sports, but this is bigger than what they've probably used to. Is the stage, maybe come August 26th, and not even so much now, going to be too big? We'll get that.
Ladies and gentlemen, the reigning, defending 155-pound champion of the UFC.
I couldn't hear anything. Thanks, folks. This boxing press conference is a great spectacle. And somebody's O has got to go.
All right, we just want to alert our audience we are not having technical issues. We are merely bleeping out the audio that is involved.
There's no other way about it. His little legs, his little core, his little head. I'm going to knock him out inside 4 rounds, mark my words. I always said, left shoulder, you can see on the poster, McGregor Sports and Entertainment. I rose up and I became in association with. What can I say? I'm a young, confident, happy man that has worked extremely hard for this. Everything. Nobody's gonna do nothing. Nobody can do nothing up here to me. So I'm just enjoying myself, having a good time. And that's it. As far as the fight, he will be unconscious inside 4 rounds. The movement, the power, the ferociousness. He's not experienced this. He's fought people who have shied away from him. I don't fear him. I don't fear this limited set of fighting. This is a limited set of rules that makes this half a fight, a quarter of a fight. This isn't a true fight. If this was a true fight, it wouldn't even take 1 round. How's this suit look? If you zoom in on the pinstripe, it says fuck. Now look, I'm just blessed. This press conference is a little different to me. They try and catch me off guard all over the place. Just try up, didn't even know I had to give a speech. But they have to be 10 ounce, 154 pounds. No Mexican-made gloves. Okay, no problem. Gloves made out of horsehair. All right, no problem. I don't give a fuck. We're only wearing gloves in our game. All these rules, and all I need is a gum shield. Line me up to the ring, and I'm good to go. So. So good, I swear to God, I can't believe contain it. Shout out to my little son, Conor Jr., watching back home. I'm a daddy now. Conquer the supposed unconquerable. My little boy, to provide for him and to set him up for life. I mean, what more motivation could you need? I just look at him and it's like, pushes me on to keep going and keep doing these record-breaking events. I mean, no one's done like this. There's been a few times in history where people have crossed over. Muhammad Ali fought Antonio Inoki in Japan many years ago under MMA rules. Problem with the sport and a big problem with the UFC, very similar to the way Flyod has, but he crossed over into our world. Flyod has a problem, but doesn't want to come over and deal with it. He wants me to come over his side. That's no problem, I'll do that. That's confidence. Look, let's get this World Tour started.
Thank you very much to the notorious Conor team. He will be introducing his fighter at this time. Please welcome the CEO of Mayweather Promotions, Leonard Ellerby.
The undefeated 12-time world champion in 5 different weight classes, the best ever, the undisputed. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. Hard work. I still got it. All work is what? "21 is the number." And they say, why is 21? That's how long I've been. I don't.
You gone.
All work is what? Y'all already know. You line them up.
Yeah, right. I haven't knocked nobody out in about 20 years. Dance for me, boy.
Give me that backpack. Give me that backpack. Let me show you what $100 million.
That's in a tax man. I'm not gonna.
Side. That's why I say Mayweather first. We knew I was.
That's because he ain't up in the wall.
Yeah. Hey, he looked good for us.
MGM Grand. I want to thank the MGM Grand. I want to say thank you to Conor McGregor. I want to thank you and your team. I got to thank Dana White because it takes two warriors. Combat sports did this. So I didn't do this by myself. But August 26th, we talking about from the 90s to now. We talking about he said, oh, Mayweather, I look good in my suit. I say, guess what? August 26th, we're going to have on the same thing. It's going to be the same results. It's going to be the same results. And if you want 8-ounce gloves, let's put 8-ounce gloves on. If you want 4-ounce gloves, don't fool the public. Don't fool the public. Hard work. Hard work. Yeah. And guess what? I'm an old man. $10 years ago, I'm not the same fighter I was 5 years ago. I'm not the same fighter I was 2 years ago. And we know Mr. Tap Out like the you want to go. I'm guaranteeing you this. You going out on your face or you going out? That's right. Sit quiet. All you need to do is show up. You just show up, okay? And I'm going to do the rest. Right now. You can get it right now. You can get it right now. We got to say that for the money. You know, you can shout for whoever you want to shout for. God don't make mistakes. And God only made one thing perfect. Hey, don't we got to pose the fighters now? Face to face.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen. It's on Showtime pay-per-view. Face to face, you don't want to miss the action once again. Saturday, August 26th, MGM T-Mobile Arena.
Doug Kazarian here, rejoined by Chael Sonnen. Chael, we knew Floyd could stay
Doug, hey, you and I are on the same page here. That's the first thing I was going to say. That picked up very quickly. Floyd went from being quiet and almost looked like he was timid and uncomfortable. Is that fair? I mean, that was my interpretation. That all changed. All of a sudden, something came out of him. He even called for the face-to-face. I thought as far as a promotion, and that's all this Q&A, he pockets some answers. He comes out and fires them off. He stood up to the mic. He said, look, nobody told me I had to give a speech. I think Floyd really saved the day.
Now, as you very well know, I used there was genuine animosity between fighters because there was a backstory, and then other.
I don't think they genuinely dislike each other at all, but I'll tell you this in fairness, these things evolve. I can tell you as a fighter, I do not like to manufacture conflict. Together. And all of a sudden, one guy goes too far. All of a sudden, Conor McGregor starts bringing up the fact you haven't put anybody down in 5 years, and before you know it, the friendship and the partnership is off. And I'm telling you, it's just by the time August 26 rolls around. For today, and to your question directly, I think they showed up in sportsmanship, but I don't think they left in it.
And you're seeing some of it after the official fight photo. They're still chirping at one another. Fighters don't get under each other's skin.
Yeah, well, they're not trying to get under each other's skin as much. And then one fighter goes, oh, he's not in my head. And the other fighter goes, well, yes, I am. There's no different. The rules are still the same, and the weight class is the same. And those are the only two things that even matter. So let's just concede they're in each other's head. Go out and have some fun. There's nothing wrong with Conor McGregor to the mound and point and say where I'm going to put the ball. I thought today was a little bit odd by Floyd when Floyd started saying, I'm not the man I was 20 years ago. I've slowed down. My combos aren't the same. I'm old. Never in the history of fight promotion, and this is supposed to be the guy that sold more pay-per-views than anybody, never in the history of fight promotion has beating yourself up ever worked. I was confused by that, and I suspect somebody will pull him aside immediately after this press conference and tell him, hey, have a little confidence, Floyd.
And each guy had plenty of confidence when giving a prediction of the fight. In addition to his hard work chance, Floyd Mayweather said he was guaranteeing to put McGregor on his face, over back. And earlier before that, McGregor had said he's going to knock him unconscious within 4 rounds. What do you make of those predictions?
Well, you know, I have nothing wrong with confidence, and it leans towards arrogance, and I don't have a problem with that either. I think that it's fun, but I'll tell you this. You've got a guy who's never done professional boxing taking on a guy who's never lost at professional boxing. Floyd Mayweather had better be right, and he'd better be right very quickly and very decisively, or the entire integrity of a failing sport of boxing. I say this as a boxer, a guy that had Olympic aspirations in 2000, but I can admit to you, we're on the fringe right now. The entire integrity of the sport is called into question.
And we're going to talk a lot more about that moving forward between now and August 26th, when Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor square off at the T-Mobile Arena. That was confirmed today that they will fight there. In betting favorite, and Mayweather 49-0. Chael, we appreciate your perspective and weighing in as we took a live look at the press conference in Las p.m. Eastern. But right now, here on ESPN News is ESPN.
Welcome into the latest edition of ESPN FC. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Yanis Mihalik, Ali Moreno and Stevie Nicol. Observant viewers will notice the absence of Craig Burley over recent weeks. He's on vacation at the moment, but fear not, we have an update from him a little later in the show. I promise you, this video is worth staying tuned for. But first, we welcome Gab Marcotti to the programme to discuss James Rodriguez moving to Bayern Munich. Gab, this seemed to happen rather quickly. Of course, now reunited with Carlo Ancelotti, who he played with while at Real Madrid.
It did, and, you know, in the past we've talked about where he could fit in, given his style of play, given he likes to play in the hole. Well, Bayern was one of the few top clubs that conceivably have that setup. They had a surplus of wingers. Obviously, he's worked with Ancelotti before, and I think from Bayern's perspective, what they like about this deal is that they're getting a guy who cost a ton of money for not that much. It's a 2-year loan deal. They're going to be paying, effectively leasing James Rodriguez for €5 million, round about nearly $6 million a year in each of those 2 seasons. At the end of that, there is an agreed. But in some ways, that price is frankly irrelevant, because at that stage, he's only going to have 1 year left on his contract. And if things work out in Bayern,
On paper, Janis, this seems to make sense financially. On the pitch, is it a good deal?
Ribery on the left-hand side is going to get the benefit of the doubt. Robin, of course, as well. Of course, we also know that they're not often healthy and always available. So there's going to be plenty. I see Bayern playing like a 4-2-3-1. So obviously he can play anywhere in that 3. He could play behind Lewandowski as well. But again, Thiago gets the benefit of the doubt because he was arguably the best player other than Lewandowski for Bayern Munich last year.
You would say that. Stevie, what do you think?
Yeah, listen, the guy's a great player. He's going to go to a team that generally are going to have most of the ball, certainly in the Bundesliga. So he's going to flourish and do well. I don't see a problem with this whatsoever.
Let's take a look, shall we, at the possible starting 11, Ali. This has given us now different, the fact that Philipp Lahm has now retired. Kimmich coming in at right back. Tolisso Robin, Lewandowski and Ribery. That's an attacking lineup, which you imagine would steamroll the Bundesliga, no problem. But the big question, and what Bayern Munich fans want, isn't it, is another European Cup.
Arturo Vidal would be playing for me as a starter for Bayern Munich because I think he gives you a presence in the midfield. However, with James Rodriguez, what you have is another player that because they know that Bayern Munich values possession. Some of the criticism that Pep Guardiola got when he was at Bayern Munich was that this team became very horizontal and there was no vertical movement. Well, James Rodriguez gives you the horizontal, but cannot. James Rodriguez is a talented player, and it's all about where he is mentally. If Carlo Ancelotti handles him the same way that he handled him in Real Madrid, there'll be no issue, because James Rodriguez for himself and for others.
Good enough to win the Champions League?
I think so, yes.
You agree, Janis?
Bayern Munich?